Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Ask Dr. Renee show. As usual, we are here Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Central Standard Time to my Chicago people. But in case you've never watched the show is here to motivate and inspire you to live the life you deserve. Because let's face it, we only have one life. This is not a dress rehearsal. So there is no reason for us to play it small. Whatever it is you want to do, you need to go and do it now, not later, now. So my guest today is a perfect example of that. She is living her best life the way that I think everyone should, because my hashtag is live the life you deserve. Yep. But you guys, her husband is actually the only person who's been on my show 4 times. And he was on a few weeks ago, and we will talk about how we met and how I'm so thankful to her for letting me borrow him the times that I've had to, because he is amazing. But you guys, we have April Watkins with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Renee.
No problem. So everyone, we have to take care of housekeeping first. You see in the corner, it says subscribe. So don't forget to subscribe. I need you guys to comment, like, share. And guess what? They're getting rid of starting watch parties on Facebook. But yeah, they are. As a matter of fact, I think it's like in a week or 2.
I wonder why.
I don't know. But but yeah, so everyone, please make sure you comment, you like, you share, and tell somebody, because this can be a great conversation. And we have super chat feature on YouTube. The party's on YouTube, everyone. Go to YouTube. We have super chat feature. So if you would like to ask a question, make sure that you super chat, super stickers. And I think, and don't forget to join my list so that you know everything that's going on. Text Live Life to 66866. Live Life to 66866. Okay, I think I got all of my housekeeping done. What happens is I finish and I'm like, I forgot to do. So I finally got it all done. Okay, so April, I always start out with, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
A model.
Okay.
That's very simple. A model.
Okay. And so what did your parents think of this fabulous idea?
They weren't so keen on it. They weren't. Like, I grew up, everyone's like, oh my God, you should be a model, whatever. And then when I saw what modeling was, I was like, that's for me. I really wanted to be a model. That was my number one goal.
And you grew up in New York?
I did, in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Brooklyn's in the house.
So, there's a lot of people that have come from Brooklyn. Did you know any of these people that were models that came from Brooklyn?
No, not personally.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay. So what did you do to put yourself towards that goal? What did you?
When I was about somewhere in my 20s, I don't know when, that's when I really started to pursue it. When I met Royale, I was actually pursuing it. I was like, you know what? Let me start sending my photos out to people. There was this modeling agency in Queens. I was supposed to go, but for some reason, the appointment got mixed up, so I never went. And from there, I kind of segued into owning my own modeling agency. So I never really did it. It was just, I want to do it. I was in a couple of fashion shows, but that was it. And my mom used to put me in a lot of fashion shows when I was younger. That's what really sparked it. So I don't think she necessarily wanted me to be a model, but she had me in fashion shows, which was like, okay, I love walking down the runway. This is for me.
I love it. I love it. So, and I know growing up, your grandmother was very close to you as well.
Yes, my Nana.
Yeah.
My Nana was everything. She was my rock, my everything. I was so happy that she got to meet Royale. But my mom and my grandparents, we lived in a 2-family house. Well, they lived in Harlem. We lived in Brooklyn. And then they took me out of Brooklyn and we lived in a 2-family house in New Jersey. So I was always with them. And when my mom would work, I would always be with Nana. So Nana taught me how to be as loving as I am, because I'm a nurturer. Let me tell you, I need some hugs. I need some kisses. I need that sweet talk, because she instilled that in me. And I didn't realize how important that is until I was a grown woman, till now, that I'm like that with Royale. When I met him, he was like, oh, and they're right there. Oh my God, they're right there. But yeah, I needed that. So Nana was like the person I ran everything by. if she said no or she was disappointed in me, it really affected me more than my mom, because Nana was just a grounded, solid, just a educated woman. She was just everything that I needed. So without her, I wouldn't be here. I promise you. I know my mother gave birth, but Nana raised me.
So, and your Nana, where's your Nana from?
My Nana was from North Carolina originally, and made her way to Harlem, where she met my grandfather. So that's her beginning. Yes, Katrine. So my middle name is Katrine, and everybody wants to say Catherine. There's no, it's not Catherine. It's Katrine. Katrine. So she was Katrine Hannett, and now, she married my grandfather, and she became Katrine Jennings.
Gotcha. Now, where did the West Indian roots come from?
My grandfather.
I figured.
Herbert Jennings, born and raised in Tortola, then kind of went to St. Thomas. And when I go, I tell you, I have so many family members on both islands, all the islands, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, Tortola. I mean, all my family is there. It is beautiful. So when I go back, it is just like kind of everybody I meet. Who's your, and they all, who are your people?
Right.
Oh, so-and-so, that's my cousin. I'm like, oh my God, we're cousins. I got a lot of third, fourth, but the bloodline is there, especially in Tortola, which I didn't put 2 and 2 together until my last visit 2 years ago. I have way more family on Tortola.
Okay.
Way more.
So when I was in med school, our flight would always stop in Tortola before we went to St. Martin.
Nice.
So I've been a couple times. I mean, we didn't leave the airport, but I've been a couple times.
You gotta go visit. Yeah. It is amazing. It is the most beautiful island.
Well, look, I'm a little biased to Antigua, but we do have 365 beaches.
Oh, that many?
One
wow. How big is it? Do you know the radius?
Somebody is going to tell me in a minute. I'm sure, my executive producer, my sister, she'll tell me in a second. I always ask, and my dad's upstairs too, so he probably can tell her. But I always ask and I always forget the number. But
because we have it's small. It's 23 miles.
Yeah.
One, you can go all the way around. I'm like, so Tortola is even smaller.
Well,
so
St. Martin was like that too. You could, as a matter of fact, when we would, the boats would come through, and if you didn't leave to get to school in time, you would get stopped by it, and trying to outrun it would never really work either. So it was horrible.
I didn't know.
It's 108 square miles. I told you she would come.
Oh, through. It's big. It's big, way bigger than St. Thomas and Tortola. That's why you have so many beaches. Okay, touche.
Yeah, and they gave away a trip to Antigua yesterday on Wheel of Fortune. They do it like every other week. It seems like they're giving away a trip to Antigua.
I want to go to Antigua. When are you
gotta come? Look, my dad. As soon as he is well, we are going. Soon as he's well, and mark my words. Me and Alicia will break ground, if not build, by the end of the year, something there, so that we have our place there.
You build there, I'll build on Tortola.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's the plan. I have to have a house there at some point.
That's us. Alicia said there's 80,000 people in Antigua.
Antigua, okay.
Yeah.
Now, is Antigua, I'm probably getting this mixed up with another island. Is there a French and a Danish?
That's St. Martin.
That's St. Martin, okay.
Which, like I said, I used to live in St. Martin. I lived in St. Martin for 2 years. Okay. But yeah, French and Dutch.
French and Dutch. Thank you. Yes.
And there's 2 spellings because of that. There's St. Martin, Maarten, and Martin. Martin is French. The other one's the Dutch.
Got you.
I lived on the Dutch side.
Go there.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. I want to travel as soon as we get out.
Exactly. As soon as we get out.
Yep.
So you wanted to do this modeling thing. And so you graduate from high school. Then what?
Then I went to Devry. Okay. I went to Devry because I wanted to do, I don't know how I got into this field, but I wanted to do computer science. Got there, hated it, and I really wanted to go to Spelman. But then again, being April was like, I don't know, when you're like 18, you just think you don't have time. Like, I don't want to spend, Devry was 3 years versus 4. And I was like, yes, I want to get out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why we rushed to be grown. Like, I just wanted to be a grown up. I was 18. I was like, I'm ready to get a job and pay my bills. So I went to Devry, and baby, I hated it. I wish I would have went to Spelman. Just a little bit more time. But when you're 18, you really can't talk to an 18-year-old and tell them it's really not that big of a deal another year. I was like, yes, it is.
A lifetime.
It's a lifetime. Correct.
So after Devry, what did you do? Since you did not want to do computer science.
Oh no. After Devry, I kind of just moonlighted. I really didn't have any jobs. My mom worked at the post office in New York on 34th Street. So of course, like any mom, I can get you a job here. I was like, oh, okay. So I tried to do that. I don't know what happened. I think I had like a speeding ticket or something that on the application you needed to have not had a speeding ticket within like 18 months. And I was in that gray area, so I couldn't complete that. But then something said, put in the application for FedEx. So I was like, okay. So I put this application in. I go for the interview. It was a really good interview. I had a woman who has since passed away, but it was a Black woman that I can't even remember her name, but she was amazing. She interviewed me. I thought nothing of it. And they said they let us know in like a month. So a month went by. I didn't get any calls, but then someone maybe 5 blocks down. So my address was 1100. They got my mail at 110 instead of 1100. So my number was on the envelope, and they were like, FedEx dropped a letter off for you here. So I literally, got in my car, drove up to this person's address, got the letter, and inside was, you have been accepted, and you got the job at Federal Express. I was like, oh my God. And let me tell you, like, the orientation was like the next day or 2 days. So I got it in a nick of time, because I'm sitting at home like, oh, I guess I didn't get it. So from there, I worked for the next 10 years. Oh, it was a great ride. FedEx was good for me because it taught me customer service, how to deal with people. And they had a very flexible transfer. Like if you saw something, we had a little booklet that came out every Friday from any part in the country. If whatever jobs were available, they were listed. So you could enlist or go somewhere else. And that's what I did eventually.
Okay. So I know you met Royale somewhere in there because I remember the story about FedEx you just told recently.
I did. So I transferred after my 18 months. I said, you know what? Let me try something different. So I literally was like, Maryland sounds good. So I went to Maryland by myself, took my son Joey. I told my grandparents with a straight face, I'm moving to Gaithersburg, Maryland. They were like, what? I was fearless. I was like, why not? I'm sick.
Okay, but wait a minute. So people that don't know, New Yorkers barely travel from borough to borough. So for her to leave New York to go to Maryland is insane.
Girl, I didn't care. Like, I'm telling you, I was that type of kid. Like, I just wanted adventure, and nothing has changed. Really. Why not Gaithersburg? It sounds beautiful to me. Never been there a day in my goddamn life. Excuse my language. Not a day. I didn't know if it was ghetto. I didn't know if it was suburban, rural. It sounded good to me. So I went one day, packed up and I have some diehard friends, packed up my Honda. My girlfriend packed up her little BMW, and we went. And I landed. We stayed at a hotel. I figured out this apartment building looks nice. And I got an apartment. Like, it was that easy. And my address was 145 Watkins Mill Road. Watkins. Yep, Watkins Mill Road in Gaithersburg. I was very close to Royale. Didn't even know it.
Right.
So I stayed there for about a year, and then my mom got really sick. So she was already having kidney issues. And by the time I got settled, I was settled, Renee. I had my apartment. I was in a lottery to get a condo because out there back then, so many years ago, there were so many incentives for single parents and so forth. And I was finding my rhythm. I had my crew of friends. I had my babysitter for Joey. And so I put in for a lottery for a home. And I felt like I would have won, but I'll never know because I had to leave. My mom kidneys really went on her, and I'm her only child. So I went back. And I was miserable. Like I loved what I was creating there. I knew everybody at the station. I was climbing up in position, getting promotions. And it came to a dead halt because my mom is sick. There was nothing I could do. I went crying to my manager. I'll never forget. And like, I have to leave. Like I just got there and I had to leave. I was like, oh, and I left and I just came back to Jersey, took care of her for the next maybe year and a half. And then that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you met Royale in Jersey, right?
I met Royale, yes, initially in Jersey at the Peppermint Lounge. Yes. I used to see him a lot at different comedy clubs, but then like the Peppermint Lounge is like the pivotal place we actually met. Oh, that's a whole story. And I didn't want to meet him. That's the thing. I did not want to meet him. I was okay with just looking at him. Seriously, I was okay. My girlfriends couldn't take it. They was like, oh no, you're not going to keep bringing us here every week and not say anything to him. They was like, this is it. And that's how we met. If it wasn't for my girlfriend, Tanya, I would not be with Royale because I would have never said hello. That's not me. Like, what am I say hello for? Like, I'm not a groupie. I don't want him to think I need anything or he's getting anything from me because that's not going to happen. So I just went, I'll just look at him. He's cute. I look at him. Oh, he's so cute. She was like, not today. One day, her day, like it was just a regular day and she couldn't take it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, no rhyme or reason. I don't think she got dressed like I'm going to bust her out today and introduce her to Royale. It just happened. You know what I mean? I went to the bathroom, came out. He was standing there. I was like, you know how you look at your girlfriend, only you could look at your girlfriend and she know you mad? I'm like, you wait. That's what my eyes said to her. And she was crying. She was laughing out of control because right now she don't care because she's got the upper hand.
Right.
So she's like, April, this is Royale. And I'm looking at her like, you wait till we get out of here. And the rest is history.
How many years are you guys about to celebrate?
25. Wait. No, we've been together 26, but married. How old is Royce? He's going to be 22. Married 22.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Don't tell Royale. He knows the dates. I don't. That's the only thing I don't know. He knows like bam, bam. And I'm happy because I know everything else. How about one thing I don't have to know?
Right. So when did you work at Essence? And yeah.
I worked at Essence between 97 and 99. Yeah, because I got pregnant and that's why I left Essence.
Okay.
Yeah, I left Essence. Royale and I were getting really serious. He was already living in LA and I knew a lot of things were about to change. So resigned, had Royce, and then Royce was like 3 months, I believe. And then we went to LA. But we got married. There's so much in there. I don't know how much you want to know.
It's fine. You fit. Look, whatever you want to tell. Whatever you want to tell.
So yeah, 97 to 99. And just like Renee says, live the life. What's your tagline? Live the life
you deserve.
Like you deserve. And make sure you manifest because everything I manifest comes true. I manifested Royale. I got Royale. I know he hates when I say that, but I did. I manifest Essence and I got it. I used to talk Royale's ears off because I was getting tired of FedEx because I'm way too cute to be in a uniform and dirty. So it got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm in Manhattan. I am with the movers and shakers every day. And I'm in this blue uniform and they're walking their Yorkies and having lattes. And I was like, yeah, FedEx, you have been really good to me. But baby, I need to be on the outside of this uniform because that's the life that I wanted, and I wanted a Yorkie. So all of this will come back. So I was telling Royale, oh my God, I really want to work for Susan Taylor. I love her. I don't know how I could get to Essence, blah, blah, blah. But I also figured hey, I love modeling. So I had started my own little modeling agency. My cousin was my only model at the time. He was my guinea pig, but we had such a good time doing it. And then I said, one day we were at FedEx. My cousin actually worked at FedEx with me. I said, I'm going to call and get a job at one of these big agencies. How hard could it be? Picked up the phone. I called Ford. Not hiring. I picked up the next phone. It was Elite. I said, are you guys hiring? No, I don't have any experience. They were like, no, we're looking for agents that have experience. So I hung up. Then I said, well, let me try Wilhelmina. Hi, my name is April Howard. I currently work for FedEx, but I'm thinking about a career change. I really want to get into modeling. I would love to be an agent. Are you hiring? That woman said, come in the next day. My cousin sat there and was like, only you, April, only you. I just took a chance. I started out in the mailroom, helping them put the books together. Back then, you carried this big portfolio. Yep. I was just help the models when they come in. Oh my God, I need to rearrange my photos. Sure, let's do that. Until I became an agent. Then I became an agent for like a year. Then I was recruited to Essence. That's how I got to Essence. So I had to be at Wilhelmina before I got to Essence. And I was helping them with these young ladies that came from Africa. And everybody wanted to kind of know where they were. So Essence called Wilhelmina. I was the person that answered the phone. I tracked them down. They were at Elite. The rest is history. They had me come in for an interview. They loved my sass or whatever. I went in. I had like 3 interviews. I had to go with Mickey Taylor.
Mickey Taylor, yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Taylor. And then she, liked me. Then I had to meet with Susan. And that was it. Then I got there and I was like a kid in a candy store. I had arrived. That was so much fun at Essence. When I tell you so much fun, I met everybody. Only person I didn't meet was Bevy. I met Puffy. I met his ex that just passed away. She came up.
Kim Porter.
Kim, after she just had Justin.
Quincy? Oh, Justin, okay.
Justin. I met everybody. It was the time of my life. Let me tell you. Between Essence and Wilhelmina, no regrets. I lived. I partied. I had I could get in anywhere. I was the model editor of Essence. Like I could get into any party, any grand opening, any shows, anything. It was beautiful. My job was to go out. I was like, sign me up. That is perfect for me.
So what was your position there?
I was the model editor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I still have all my magazines tucked away somewhere in this house. April Howard, model editor. It was me who put all the models on the cover. Well, my potential. Yeah. Susan had to go through who she liked, whatever the cover story, when it was the issue with the 60s, like 40, 50, 60, I would get candidates for that. Anybody for the cover, get candidates. It would be up to her to choose, but at least it was me doing the background work, finding them. It was so much fun. It's right. I mean, that was a really great time of my life. Seriously.
So you moved to LA. And I tell everyone LA is the land of the fruits and nuts.
Yeah, nuts is right.
And I said it takes, I would have to have a special kind of paycheck. Although April says to me, I will get paid the right amount of money to live there. But I keep telling her, I don't know. Just like,
baby, it is just different. So yes, we got married in 99. And we immediately, I had Royce and then we moved. And I've been here ever since. I've been kicking and fighting since I got here. I'm still here because Royale loves it. It's not bad. The weather is great. But when it comes to the type of lifestyle that I'm accustomed to and with my personality, it really doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. You see the chances I've taken in my life, just calling people. I'm very spontaneous. I'm like, let's do it. Like, I'm that type of person. I'm very free spirited, and I feel like here has just like, it's not that. It's suffocating. It's like, You got to have a car. You got to be in this crowd. You got to, we don't, in New York, in New Jersey, in the tri-state area, you get in where you fit in. There's always something going on. There's always something that's popping. And that's what I'm accustomed to. And when I got here, it was just like dropping me off in Baghdad. It was like, oh my God, where are the people? What is going on? And nothing has changed. I still feel like, oh, it's just what it is. It's, I'm in the house. It's beautiful weather. I work. I take care of the kids. And, there hasn't been any excitement, I want to say, but yeah, this is where I am. This is where I am.
So how many years apart are Royce and Ross?
21 months.
Okay. So almost 2 years. Okay.
Almost 2 years. Mm-hmm.
So Ross was on the spectrum. And how did you guys discover that?
Thankfully, I had Royce first.
Right.
Royce was very active as a kid. I knew, I could see his milestones. 3 months, what he was doing, 6 months, what he was doing, 9, 12, and so on. Then I had Ross. 3 months, not doing what Royce was doing. Everybody's different. I get that. 6 months, he's still not,
Right.
And then it dawned on me, like 9 months, I was like, this baby ain't said a word. I don't hear gaga goo. He's quiet. It's something, you got to go with your intuition.
Right.
I have very good intuition. And I called the doctor and he was like, boys will be boys. They give you that same spiel every time about boys. I'm telling you guys, if you have a boy, don't let any doctor tell you boys will be boys. Boys are slower. If you feel something, explore it. Because had I waited any longer, he wouldn't have been able to get the free services, because you can get free services until they're 3. After that, it's out your pocket. So by the time we locked in that, yes, something is a little off, or he's not developing as quickly, we got it locked in maybe 15, 16 months. So I only have another 15 months before he's 3. You know what I mean? So that 15 months went really quick. And then it was out of our pocket, private, and it was a lot of money. So his spectrum was nonverbal and childlike play. It was under his age group rather, and that put him on the umbrella, the spectrum. And so my specialist at that time, that didn't take any insurance, we had to pay out of our pocket $1,500 just to get him diagnosed. This is what I'm saying. It's a very expensive, I don't want to say disease, but what it is, autism. It is
disorder or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So she looked at us in the eye. She was like, look, I don't think it's severe, but there's something. And if I give you the diagnosis as autism, you will be open to a plethora of services. If you don't take it and then it gets worse later on, you will have to really pay out your pocket. So as much she could tell, I did not want that diagnosis. I didn't want to hear it.
No labels or anything.
No labels. I was like, I don't want to hear it. And Royale looked at me. He was like, we need to just do what's best for Ross. And I said, you're right, and I took that diagnosis and I ran with it. And I said, because no matter what they think, I know what what my child is. But at that moment, I have some friends that refused the diagnosis and tried to do it on their own. And because it's a stigma behind that label.
Yeah.
But there's so many steps to it, It could be severe, it could be light, it could be mild, it could be whatever. Asperger's, it could be a lot. So ours wasn't that bad. And I was already extra tired. And I was like, the only thing I want is this child to be able to live on his own, because I was exhausted with, don't forget, Joey's a teenager at this point. Royce is almost 3. And now I got a baby that they're saying this label. And all I knew about that was like, they can't take care of themselves. They're going to be with you forever. And I was like, no. Whatever he has, I was like, he's not going to be handicapped and we're not going to enable him. So Royale, whatever it is, we're going to teach him. He's going to be on a bus. He's going to get a job and he's going to have his one little room apartment. That was my goal. I said, because after I finish raising these kids, I don't want to take care of them. And I said that with love. Like, I just wanted him to be functional, out on his own, not stuck under us. Like, there are a lot of people. If blind people can get from A to Z and travel and get on buses, I was like, okay, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Because we're going to teach him. He's going to get a job. He's going to have an apartment, and he's going to have a life. And it was bigger than I could ever imagine. My dream came tenfold. He is fine, learns how to speak Spanish at a HBCU. He's great.
He is. And he's done stand-up.
Doing stand-up.
Yes.
Every day. Like, he will find an open mic somewhere in LA, outside on a sidewalk. He don't care, somebody's backyard. He's been everywhere. This pandemic has not held him back. So he has his own podcast, Comedy and Conversations. That's on IG and on YouTube. And he interviews people, and he is currently just always out every other night. He's out. He'll find an open mic somewhere. He even did a Zoom the other day, and he got his first pay. This was his first paid gig. It was a Zoom show, comedy show. So he got his money, and they paid him via Cash App, and he gave it back. He said, can you mail me the money? Because he wants to frame. That's his first money, his first thing. Right. He was like, I got to frame it. So the guy was like, absolutely.
That is so cool.
Yes.
That is so cool. But yeah, and actually he's the only son of yours that I've met. I met Joey at your house. I didn't meet Royce though.
You haven't met Royce? How is that possible?
Because I met Ross at Gotham.
Okay.
You guys were there. And then I met Joey when I came to the house for the party. And the other two were not there. They were in school. No, they weren't even in school yet. I don't know where they were. They weren't there.
You weren't there? You came for a Christmas party? Was it a Christmas party?
No, it wasn't Christmas. It was somebody's birthday party. It was during the school year time. It was like a March. And it was like 2016, I think.
Oh, girl, I don't remember that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I don't know whose party, but I'm sorry. You'll meet Royce.
Yeah.
We'll fix that.
Yeah. But, look, and probably on the East Coast because it's closer.
Exactly. Right. Trust me.
Is he going to stay out there, you think?
Yeah, he will, because he's graduating in May.
Right.
Did 4 years. Can you believe that?
I know, that's crazy. I told my sister it flew by.
It flew by. HU business major. I'm so proud of him. He graduates. He'll have a job probably the next month. He had to turn down a job at a big agency because he's not out of school.
Right.
And they needed him pronto. So he just had that interview maybe a month ago, and they really wanted him, but he's like, I am almost finished school. So they said, circle back. And I mean, it is a big name. I was like, what? So to answer your question, he's not going anywhere. We know way too many people in the industry. And with his background, he already interned for Kevin Hart and was in the documentary. People were texting me, is that Royce as the intern? I said, yes, he interned the whole summer for Kevin.
Wait a minute. Did we see him in the documentary? So, my friend who's actually going to be on the show, Brian Smiley, is the president of Heartbeat. And so we saw him in the documentary. I don't remember if I saw
Royce is the intern.
Yes. I must have seen him. I just don't remember. I must have seen him.
You never met him, so but
no, yeah. But I know what he looks like, obviously.
Yeah, and Kevin says, this is my intern. And he's like, hey, everybody. They showed him like twice. And
I
everybody
must have seen him then. Yeah.
Is that Royce? I'm like, yes, girl, that is Royce. He had a good time. He learned a lot. So he's in, we got Lena, we got Gina Prince Bythewood, our friends are in the industry, and he's probably the first baby from when we were all raising our kids. I think he's not the first, but he's the first in my crew of women. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's graduating college.
Okay.
And has a business degree and that knows the industry and reads scripts and does that. So I feel like they're all waiting, like, is Roy, because we already got that in February. Is Roy still in school? That's how they text. What's Royce doing? But I honestly want him to be a PA on somebody's set for at least a year.
Okay.
I want him to be a PA. Being a PA is the hardest job in LA. But once you've been a PA, there's nothing you can't do. And that's why most PAs are now top execs at these big Sonys and Warner Brothers and the rest of them, because they know what it takes for the grips, for the lights, for the actresses, for everything. They have been running around with their like chickens with their head cut off, because they have to do it all, and they have to do it fast, and they have to be professional. And I love my PAs. I watch them grind. You know, some of them have a hard time, but baby, I always say, I tell them, one day I'm gonna probably be working for you, so remember me.
Right.
Yeah. So
how did you get into the costume designing? Because I remember when you were so excited because you got into the union, and I remember that.
Yes. Always someone who you know is not who you know. I mean, what you know is who you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been struggling for years trying to figure out, how can I get into the union? I've been doing some non-union stuff, and I'm like, dag, you know, hoping that the production would flip. It didn't flip a couple of times, and I was like, dag, I missed that opportunity. It didn't happen. And so I just started making some phone calls. I was like, we got a good friend at NBC, top exec.
Mutual friend now.
I was like, let me give him a call. So I called him. He was like, sure. I was like, what do you mean, sure? Like, was that, it was
no.
that.
But you know what? I think that's the way they roll, because Christine, when I met her, she goes, after we talked, she goes, you need to meet my husband. I'm like, okay. And so she's telling me what he does. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah. And I told my sister, go, listen, his assistant sent me an email. I'm thinking we're just going to coffee or something. And he's like, no, come to the
That's how they are.
Studio. And I'm like, oh, okay. And when I was leaving, I saw the poster for your show. For Brooklyn 911.
Oh, Brooklyn 911. Yep.
And I go, oh, my friend, she works on that show. And he's like, who? And I said, she does. I said what you said. I said, you know, she does. She's a costumer. And he was like, who? And I go, April Watkins. He goes, I know them. And I go, really? He's like, yeah. He goes, those are our people. I go, well, Royale's my big brother. And I was like, so she's my sister by default. And he's like, right. Oh my goodness. So when I left, I told Royale, he goes, oh, well, I'm going to send him a good, you know, put in a good word for you, because, you know, I'm going to tell him, you know. I was like, okay, thanks. And he sent me a copy of what he sent to him. And Christine's been on the show twice.
Wow. I just talked to her the other day. Yeah. So I just called him, and he was like, what do you need? I was like, I need 30 days to get in the union. He was like, girl, got my 30 days. I mean, and you know, am I getting dark? Do I look okay?
No, you're fine.
Okay. I got my 30 days, and it was just like, I was in, and I stayed on the show for a little bit, and then I just kept moving. And it was like that easy. I had never thought to ask anybody. And I had a plethora of people I could have asked. I just started right there. I was like, let me call him and see what's going on. And just like you, got an email from the assistant.
Right.
Are you available this day?
Right.
Absolutely. I am wide open. And that was it. And I just kept working. He was like, how good? You know, what day are you on? And he would come to set. I'll be like, I'm on day 20. He's like, you're almost there. Like, it was no big deal.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, we got to help one another. But you
also
have to open your mouth. He don't know what I need. I'm sitting over here and mind you, Brooklyn Nine-Nine was about on their 4th season when I asked. But
I've been on.
I just, it didn't dawn on me. So,
but you know, I always say, closed mouth don't get fed. I always tell everybody that.
Exactly.
And you got to ask for what you want.
That's right.
And I'm not afraid of a no.
Yeah, you can't be, because it's just a no.
I'm not rude with it. I'm a polite, like, you know, is there any way that you could possibly help? If you can't help, you can't help. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm okay with that. But, you know, you have to ask the question. You
have to, because I just asked, like, I never thought in a million years it would turn out the way it did. He was like, absolutely. It's like, what? You know, because the others made it so hard, you know, like, well, it's going to be so difficult. Good luck. Somebody that could have got me and was like, oh, yeah, you know what? Good luck. I was like, okay. I love when they doubt me.
Right. I say that too, because I'm like, you know, what's going to happen is you're going to look up and I'm going to be right in the same room as you.
Right.
And then you'll be stumped on how I got there. But I tried to tell you.
Yeah. Don't ever tell me no. I mean, you can. And I'll figure it out. So that's how I got in the union, and the rest has been history.
Yeah, she's been on. I mean, she's worked everything.
Snowfall, Glow,
Dear White People.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yeah, Dear White People. Oh my God, what else? Just a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I won a movie. I worked on Suicide Squad. I mean, the list goes on and on. I've met some really nice actors, just people in general.
Yeah. If you guys look at whose TikTok is it on? And I was like, Lord, Alicia, there's April. It was Jessica Alba, Gabrielle Union. I don't know whose TikTok it was, but
it might have been Dwayne's. Was it?
Okay. I don't know. It was so funny. I said, Alicia, look, April's in this with them.
First of all, I love LA's Finest. Jessica would have us out there TikToking. Y'all only saw one or two. We would be TikToking every day. TikTok was fresh then. And she'd be like, and she's coordinated. So she'd be like, no, go, and we'd be out there like, she'd be like, no, So she's the choreographer, she would choreograph everything. And I was like, girl, I can't dance like that. So we would be crying. I mean, she would redo her trailer, move all the furniture. I'd be like, God, I can't. And so she's probably one of my biggest, I don't know, treats from being a costumer. She is now a friend. Amen. I can call her at any moment. She's going to do the mom talks for me. She'll do anything I ask. I just have to fit in her schedule. But she's so sweet. She sent me a Christmas gift. We are friends. We're just trying to figure out when we're going to go to lunch. Because she wants to get vaccinated. I'm thinking about getting vaccinated. I'm not sure, but we'll get into that.
Yes.
But she is a friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She is a friend. And Gab, I can reach out to her whenever I want. The actors that I work with wind up being friends. Like Gail from what show? Which one am I talking about? Gail Bean is on Snowfall.
Okay.
Jesus. On Snowfall. So you probably don't know her as Gail, but Gail is on Snowfall. We text, I text all my actors because we are friends. Daniel from All American. We're just friends, because I really take good care of them. And then, of course I need their number because I'm texting them, where's your shirt? Where's your da-da-da-da?
Right.
And then we're just friends afterwards, not overstepping boundaries.
Of course not.
They need me, I'm friends with Breezy, all of them. It's just, I'm a nurturer. And I think I get that one from my grandmother. And then that's why I choose these areas of employment. I love taking care of people. So from the modeling agency, I took care of the models. They're having bad days. We talked, Cynthia Bailey, I don't understand why we're not friends right now. Cynthia and I used to be so close when she was with Wilhelmina.
Gotcha.
Like this. So, it's that nurturer in me, and then moving right into costuming is just taking care of the actors. That's basically making sure that they're okay, above and beyond. What do you need? And I don't mind doing it. And it's not in a way where I feel like what do you, it's no, the happier they are, the better they're going to be on screen. Got what you need. Oh, I forgot this. Nope, it's right here. Oh, I need this. Nope, got it right here. I try and make their life easy. Can you run back to the trailer? I forgot my earrings. I picked them up. I noticed. I got you. I used to have Jessica she used to have me cracking up. Jessica is the funniest person ever. I think she should play if they did a remake of Lucy, the Lucy show.
Okay.
She is hilarious. We had so many days where we would get in trouble. We would be crying, just making our own jokes. I miss them. Now I'm reminiscing. I miss them.
Okay, so every time I always have to tell people how I know the person. So April's husband, like I said, Royale, if you've seen the show, been on a million times. He's amazing. So April on social media says she's in Chicago. And I text Royale, was like, your wife is in Chicago? Well, I need to meet your wife. And he said, he's like, oh, okay, let me set it up. And so she texted me and was like, well, I'm out here. And if you can meet us here and you can meet my friend, I was like, okay. And so I go out to Evanston And we had a ball that night.
We had a ball. I love Evanston. I could live there.
Yeah. And then did you see the Soul of a Nation?
No.
Robin was on Soul of a Nation because Evanston is working on getting reparations for their city.
Let me tell you something. She just hit me like a month ago, like, you need to call me. And I was like, okay, I have not called her.
She is killing it.
When I was there, we were so busy, like in between my visit, with her activism.
Yes.
I was like, she is not a game.
Mm-mm.
She's not a game. And she's so smart. She loves where she was born. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Big for Evanston. So she's going to be a big thing, a big deal. Yeah.
They just announced, they literally just posted this week, she is on the committee, I guess, for the nation about us, the whole country getting reparations. Because, Evanston is the first city to be able to, to put this in. And they haven't got any money yet, but apparently it's supposed to be coming. But she is on the committee for the nation. And I told my cousins, because they watched the show, and I go, I know that lady. They were like, you do? I go, no, for real, I do. I text her, was like, oh my God, and they were like, well, that is really amazing. I go, you guys don't know, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm moving to Evanston from Chicago.
Yeah.
I said, because I need to go get my check.
Next door. I was like, I'm down. Right. I was texting Royale, we may need to move.
I remember that conversation.
Yeah. Lena is from Evanston. She went to Evanston High. I was like, what? It's such a small world. Yeah. And it's such a beautiful city.
It is.
A
lot of West Indians live in Evanston. There's a large Jamaican population in Evanston.
Wow.
Very large. Like when they have Jamaican Independence Day, I've seen pictures of their picnic and everything, and it looks like you're in Jamaica. So many people. I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm going to go visit her. When the world opens up again, I got to go back because I had so much fun, but it was right on the cusp of winter. Remember, I went in October. Yeah. And it started getting chilly. Like I made it just in time.
Yeah.
She took me so many places in 4 days.
Yeah.
We lit that town on fire. We had a ball. That was the best. You ever visit someone and you just don't know what to expect?
Right.
She was the best host. That was the best impromptu. I think I'm going to come. Come on. See, that's how I am. I was just like, I'm coming to see you, Robin. She was like, what? Okay. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
I had a ball.
I was like, I said, April is the best, Rael. I love her. She's great. So when I went to California and he's like, April's girlfriend's having a party here. Come on. I'm like, okay. And April's like, Renee, come on in. And I was like, okay. And then I told the story, and I don't think I told you, but Royale, I told him on the show, you introduced me to, and I, of course, forgot his name now. The guy he was going to be on Shonda Rhimes' new show. Dark skin. He was Frankie from All My Children.
He came to my house?
Halim. Is that his name?
Halim?
Aleem. Yes.
Dark skin. Yes, Aleem.
So you're like, this is our friend Aleem. He's going to be on Shonda Rhimes' new show. And I'm like, okay, hi.
Yes,
and I was like, that man looks so familiar. And I just was at the party thinking, and I go, oh, that's Frankie from All My Children. And so I pulled it together and I very politely went up to him. And I was very, I was just cool. And I was I just have to say that I recognize you from All My Children, and you are probably the closest I'll ever get to Erica Kane. So I just have to say hello. And he was so sweet, and he thought it was so funny. And he was like, oh, it's no problem. And I said, I just had to say something because you don't know how much I watched All My Children. And my aunt is the one that took care of me and my sister as kids, and she watched it. That's why we watched it. And I joke and say my first words were Erica Kane. So I was so geeked. You don't know. I went home and texted my cousins and my sister. I met Frankie from All My Children today. They were like, what? I mean, it was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we watched the show. And you know what? The day Royale was on, maybe it was the next day, he was on All Rise, I think, that day. And I go, Mom, that's the guy.
I almost worked on All Rise, but I took LA's Finest.
Oh, wow. Because the judge is from Detroit, like us.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Like they wanted me. I was actually on the plane going to the UK with Tamika, and we were going, for his concerts. I was like, I'm off for the summer. And I didn't get, I wasn't there. But when I got back and maybe a month later, she still needed someone. And I just, I didn't do it. And I chose LA's Finest. And I'm glad I did, but they're still going and we got canceled.
Oh yeah.
So,
we love All Rise. That's like one of our
favorites.
Yeah,
I heard it's doing really well. They're staffed. So I'm glad that she has someone, a nice crew that will just go on. I hope they get 10 seasons.
Yes.
I'm doing everything black.
You and me both, right? But then I don't think I told Royale, I went to the NAACP Image Awards and Lena was at the after party and I recognized her and was like, oh, that's Lena Waithe. And I said, that's Royale's. I'm going to go say something. So I went up to her. I introduced myself. I said, we have a mutual friend. I said, I'm Royale's little sister, just like you. And she's like, oh, and she was very nice. And that was my little hi.
She's like, hey.
Right. I know she thought I was completely crazy. But that's okay. Like, I'm fine with that.
That's fine. We love Lily.
And I don't think I even mentioned to her I lived in Chicago.
You forgot that point.
No, I don't even think I said that.
So crazy.
I know.
That could have gave you some more.
Exactly.
Where are you from?
Right. It just completely forgot. But so please tell everyone about how did you come up with the idea of doing nail polish? Because I know that you've worked on it for a while.
Oh my God.
And now you've got syrup nails.
Yes. Long story short, when I was at Essence, being a kid in a candy store, I told you we had this closet, our beauty closet. Renee, when I tell you we had everything, baby, perms, hair dyes, perfumes, lipsticks, nail polish, remover. Imagine every company in the world just about sending Essence products. We had so many products. I think once a month we had to hold sales for the office. We would just open our door and let them come in $1, $2, $3 because we had too much stuff. So it started there with two of my co-workers, Marcia and Ayana. We started then. So that was 98. We were called 3CG. It was either 3 cool girls or 3 colored girls. We couldn't decide. Then we would go to the beauty shows at Jacob Javits in New York. And because we're at Essence, we get in and we would, we were really concentrating on bottles and tops and, getting our manufacturer and stuff like that. Got pregnant. I moved. The band was broken up. So there wasn't any Instagram. There wasn't any Facebook. There wasn't any way to, one, sell our polish, and 2, be together to kind of get our dream off the ground. So we laid it to bed. 2010, I woke up like in the middle, like, I have to do this. Like I woke up in a cold sweat. I looked at Roy. I was like, I got to do this. I called Ayana. I called Marcia. I said, nail polish is still my dream. I don't know what you all want to do, but I need your blessing because I'm going to continue. They had no interest. They were like, girl, go for it. So, and that was because I was going to keep the name. So I didn't want to keep the name and not have them involved. Like, how you just, so I changed the name. It became Splat. But when I went to do the trademark, so I was calling it Splat. It was on the bottles and everything. Went to do the trademark. Splat had too many trademarks already, meaning you can have the same name. If you're a hamburger company, fine. Has nothing to do with syrup. Your syrup hamburger, this is syrup nails. You can distinguish them. But Splat had a paint company, a hair dye, and something else. So it had too many similarities in beauty in that category to put one more. Oh, this is nail enamel versus the hair dye versus the regular paint for the home paint. So I got denied. So I had to rename it. And syrup came up. That was Royale. And we didn't want to spell it the traditional way. So we said syrup is pronounced, syrup, but it's spelled SRP. So that's how I got to that. So I did syrup from 2010 till about 2015. Again, no ads, no Instagram, no Facebook, no. How am I going to sell this? How am I going to go up against Essie and OPI and Zoya and all of these people? I don't know how. So I need money now. Let me, again, put it to bed and let me go work. Then I became a costumer, and that kind of took my interest and my time for the moment. But I always, in the back of my head, was like, at some point I have to do what I need to do. And here we are, 2020, the pandemic. I'm home. I ain't got nothing but time. But here's the thing. I wasn't brave enough to start. I actually thought about it. I was scared shitless because my 2 prior times, it hurt so much to just walk away from it. My girlfriend, one text me in like April, showed me my old bottle and said, "What's up? Why are you not selling your syrup?" I still have the bottle from 2012. She bought one because it was then, selling to your friends, family. She sent a picture of it. It was my very first bottle with syrup. Old top, old bottle. It made me cringe. I was like, don't show anybody that bottle. It's like when you have a picture when you're small, don't show that picture. And she was like, "What's up? I had this since 2012. I'm still using it. It's still great. Like, you have a great polish. Let's do this." I was like, oh my God, no. Fear of failure, imposter syndrome set in. I was like, I'm just going to act like I didn't see that text. Nope. Then my other girlfriend, a month later, did the same thing. "What's up with syrup? Why are we not doing it? I still have all my polishes from 2012. You got a great product. Everybody else is selling. You buying everybody else's shit. How come you're not selling?" Then she called me, and girl, we almost had an argument because I was so nervous and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to fail, and I didn't want to stop, that I was on her for stuff she wasn't doing, and then she was on me for not doing syrup. So we was just back and forth, and she's from the East Coast, Jersey. So we was like, "So why you not doing what you?" And she was like, "I let it go because I know I struck a nerve because you want it so bad." And I felt in that moment, she was very honest, because it was me looking back now, I was so defensive. Don't tell me what to do. Why are you not doing what you doing? And that was it. And then I was like, I woke up, I called her in August. I was like, "You're right. I'm doing everything else but syrup. And I got the time now. Let me do this." And so I was so nervous. I called my manufacturer. I haven't talked to them in 5 years. I was like, I don't even know if they still exist. With the pandemic, I'm calling them. I called them. They were like, "Hi, where have you been?" I wanted to cry. They remembered me because I was going to all the shows in Vegas. I was very active. I was still flying out by myself, going to the shows. That's, I don't know. Do you know Kendra Bracken Ferguson?
Mm-mm.
I need to introduce you to her. She's another go-getter. So long story, she was at one of the shows because she represents Halle Berry. Yeah, Berry. So she was there. And so one of the shows, and Halle was starting her, I think she was doing, nail polish, not lipstick. I think it was nail polish as well. So she was there. So I would be going, and I used to meet my manufacturer there, and they would give me little trinkets and stuff to try out and stuff. So when I called, they actually remembered me. And I was like, because it's been 5 years. I don't know if the woman still works there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was just flawless. She was like, "Absolutely, your account is still open. What are you talking about? Let's do this." And I told them, how I felt about not doing it. They were like, "We understand, but guess what? You are calling now, and we're moving forward." They were giving me a pep talk. I was like, wait a minute. And so the rest is history. My account never closed. I changed a few things, but it was seamless because I've been with them for 10 years, to be honest. I've been with them 10 years, maybe not consecutively, but they know me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my requests weren't, ignored. They answered all my phone calls. We've corresponded, and here I am now. They got me my products. I started in August, all the paperwork and changing up the bottles and stuff like that. And I missed Christmas. I missed that rush, and I was very, very sad. Like, I was sad for like a week because now I'm rushing, trying to get, people are going to order presents and stuff. But, I was online, and Supercent said it was August. She was like, "I hope y'all getting ready for Christmas." She said that. And so I didn't start August. It was more like September-ish. So I didn't have enough time. So I said, you know what? Okay, let me take my time, do it right now. I'm changing everything. Let's change the logo. Let's change the color of the brush. Let's change the brush length. It's small. I want a fat. I changed everything because now I have time. Now I'm not launching until spring 2021. I got all the time. It's October. I got time to do everything right, build my website. And that's what I did. And I just think timing is everything. So it just worked out. So we're back and I'm not going to stop. You know, my prayer is, as much as I love costuming, I want to work when I want to work on the projects I want to work on. I don't have to jump for everything now. Oh, you know, feeling blessed that they called me. Yeah, I'll take it. And it's overnight and it's long and it's hard and it's out in the desert. I could be a little picky. What? No, not right now, you know, and that's what I am. I'm going to take the projects that I want to take. And that's a different, you know, way of working. You know what I'm saying? Like I never had that opportunity to turn down a job. It's not that I'm turning it down. I'm just like, I'm not available.
Right. Now, do you have a bottle there to show everyone?
Absolutely. They're all next to me. I know Royale is tired of all these bottles. I was like, yes. So this one is mimosa.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Mimosa. Yeah. I have the old colors mixed in too. I have on, let me get the whole thing. I have on lavender lemonade right now. This is that.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah, I do a sip and paint on Fridays. So yesterday was my sip and paint and I did my nails and I tried to do my little embellishments like I'm learning, you know?
Okay.
I'm so girly girl. I have a bunch of different embellishments. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just sit and I do my nails like every other day, girl. Every other day. And I can't be stuck with one color. That's the thing. I just can't, you know. I like this one. Yes, brunch.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot of polish. Polish is all over this house.
Everyone, please go to the website and check out Syrup Nails. You see it's on the screen. Please check it out. Please tell them, when is Mom Talks?
Mom Talks are Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, 7.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know if I'm gonna have a show this week. Okay. I took off a couple of weeks just because I have a lot going on.
Right.
But the following week I have a good show. So if you don't see anything this Monday, I may just do something impromptu because now you can do the 4 screens.
Yes, I've heard of the rooms.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So I may utilize that in Mom Talks moving forward. So I'm also trying to figure that out. So
Mom Talks is on IG and her IG is I am April Watkins. So you can see there's her name there, but I am April Watkins is her IG. So you can follow there. Now, do you guys still do the show, you and Tamika?
Yeah, every Thursday.
So you got to tell everyone where to find you.
Okay. So you can find me, Mom Talks. I do it on my own personal IG. I am April Watkins. Then on Thursday nights at 6 p.m., that would be 9 Eastern, I do the April and Tamika show with my girlfriend Tamika. And it's more like catching up on current events, pop culture, politics. We just kind of talk about everything, relationships. And I like that time because it's a girl time. You know, it's aside from Royale, it's aside from me being by myself. It's when I can catch up with my girlfriend. And we also do a podcast that is on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and Stitcher every Sunday at 12 noon, which is 3 p.m. on the East Coast. So you can catch me anywhere. But the show with Tamika on Thursday is really funny because we put our spin on things. We have opinions and we're able to bring you into the conversation if you want. We're also on Clubhouse in our room. We have a room. It's called Conversation Peace, the peace sign, Conversation Peace. And we've been on the last 3 weeks talking about Allen versus Pharaoh, talking about that docuseries. And we just finished up because that was the last episode. So I don't know what we're going to be talking about next. I think it might be Bevy Smith's book.
It's the best.
I know, I'm listening to it. It's really good. And here's the thing, Bevy and I share our story is so really similar. Really, she wanted to go to Murray Bertram. I wanted to go to Murray Bertram. But my mom wouldn't let me go to school in New York. She made me go to school in New Jersey. And I would have met her. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? She was from Harlem. We had a house right on 124th in Harlem.
Yeah.
Like, I was so close to her, but yet so far.
That's funny.
So far. Yeah. So I have a lot of outlets, but please, Syrup Nails is up there. If you like some great quality polish, please go ahead and make a purchase. I will get it out to you as soon as possible.
Yes. Support a Black-owned business. Huh?
I need your info.
Okay, I'll send it to you. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
So support a Black-owned business. But what she didn't say is Tamika's husband, who I've seen come on your show actually one time or two, is Stevie Wonder, you guys. And so I said, wow. But you know what? I was so mad. I missed Royale's birthday party, the 50th, because Stevie was there. I said, Alicia, had I been there, I would have been there.
Yeah, he's amazing. They're just friends. I mean,
I know. Well, and that's what I tell everyone. I said, in funny, Bevy in her book, she says she's not a celebrity. She just has celebrity friends. And I'm like, well, I consider Bevy a celebrity, but I understand. I'm the same way. I say I tell people when I started the show, I said, I have some friends that other people probably know them. And I go, I guess they'd call them celebrities, but they're just my peeps. Those are,
I know.
I'm like, that's my person. Those are my peeps.
I know. And I know Stevie is probably the biggest one people go, and he's just a friend. I see them all the time.
Right. Right.
It's something that I will cherish forever because we have so many intimate moments and pictures and experiences that I can't share with the public.
Right, of course.
But it's just, I get it because at first I was that way, but now it's just.
And I said the perfect example. I just told somebody recently, and you guys, in case you didn't know, one of the founding members of Troop died last Sunday, Reggie Warren. Yeah. And so most people know that I work very closely with Troop.
Really?
But I did PR for the lead singer for Steven Russell for for a while, for a nice little while. And he and I, he was my favorite member of the group. And before I met them, it was like any other fangirl moment. But then I met him and now we're cool. And it's like the fangirl moment is over. I mean, he's just Steve. I was like,
right.
Yes, he's written amazing hits and, wonderful songs that I think he wrote most of the 90 hits that we knew. And we didn't even know he did, Chris Brown and Faith Evans, a whole bunch of people. Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson, a whole bunch of people, but he's just Steve now. And so I understand what you're saying, because at first it was like, oh my goodness, but now it's like, okay.
Yes.
And it's funny because I am that way about other artists and he knows, and he's like, well, I don't understand why I don't get that love. I go, you did, but now you're just you.
Just Steve. We're friends.
Right, exactly.
Friends.
You're my peeps now, whatever. So,
right.
But yeah, I get it. And like she said, Lena, my sister typed in the chat, Lena that we were talking about, Lena Waithe, in case you all didn't know.
I don't see any comments. I'm not supposed to.
I don't know why it's not showing up on StreamYard, but I have two computers and it's showing up on YouTube. So that's where I'm seeing them, because there's live chat on YouTube. Oh, they're talking. They like the color. The lavender is what a lot of people like. Somebody just signed onto your website.
Thank you.
Oh, they saw you chatting with Estelle last night.
Yes, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So Estelle, again, a friend.
Yeah.
She's been at all our parties. I had just finished something online and I was just holding the iPad. And she was like, April, come online. I was like, looking around like, me? I was like, I just took off my hat. I was super cute. I was like, okay. So I went online. Let me tell you, after I hung up from her, my Shopify was like, ding, ding, ding. I was I'm having her on in April, baby. I was like, wow. So that was fun. I hope to see her soon. But yeah, Estelle is amazing. See,
she was the what did they call it? The curator for the soca session they had at Essence the last Essence we had.
Yeah.
That was the first time they ever did anything with soca like that. And you know soca because you're West Indian. And so it was amazing. They had Masha Montano, and like I said, Estelle was the curator of it. So it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. I was so excited. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, oh my God, this is just, and I brought my flag with me. So I'm, one of the very few people in the Superdome with the flag going. And then at the after party though, a lot of people had their flags. It was amazing. But
I want more amazing. Let's say that.
Yes, more. We're gonna have more amazing.
Yes.
But last night, you guys, in case anybody who wasn't there, April and I were at the same party. I don't know if she saw me, but I was there too. Club Quarantine last night was their 1 year anniversary. And it's funny because my sister and I were there that first night, and it was literally filled with people we knew. So people were like, hey, Dr. Renee, hey, foodie engineer. It was all these people we knew. It was very intimate crowd. And then it blew up. My sister goes, and now it's just all these people.
Yeah, the first night we had it to ourselves. It was so beautiful. And now we got hundreds of thousands
of people, millions of people.
Yeah.
So last night was Club Quarantine's 1 year anniversary, and it was supposed to be 24 hours, but he didn't make it. But that's okay because he gave us a year of music.
He deserved that.
He deserved it. Yeah. He did 12 hours, they said.
Yeah,
so he
did 12, and that was good.
Yeah.
The first night we did it, it was the early pandemic. We didn't have anything to do, and we didn't know what to expect. You remember that night? It was beautiful. Like we can never recreate that night. Like you tried to recreate it last night. You can't, because if you were there, you were there. If you weren't, it was beautiful. I remember afterwards, Royale jumped in the car, went to his downtown. And sent it, bought him water and stuff like that because he was on such a high. And, that high isn't, not saying he doesn't feel it, but it was a high for that time.
Right.
We're talking about United States on a pandemic. Shut down. We don't know if we're ever going to see our friends again. It was just a different moment in time. And he was running on adrenaline
high,
and it was beautiful. No one had ever done this on live. And, he's been working so much, thankfully. The pandemic has been great to him. But he was tired. He was tired.
Yeah. So I'm glad he rested because he needs to rest.
He's on now. He's spinning. He ain't going to stop spinning. Yeah, spinning.
But so thank you to D Nice, who also has been on the show, because Club Quarantine, I have my shirt and I almost wore it today, and I was like, no, I have to wear Ask Dr. Renee. But if he comes back on the show, I guess I'll wear it then. But yes, I have a Club Quarantine long sleeve shirt too that I love, and I've worn for quite a few times during the pandemic. So we have to come to the vaccination. Now, I know Royale got vaccinated. And I will tell you that 2 members of this lovely household have been vaccinated, the 2 senior citizens. Unfortunately, my name hasn't come up on the list yet. Yeah. When it does, I am ready because I know that travel-wise, as Estelle said last night, you're going to have to be vaccinated, especially to get back here. Now, I think to leave, you might be able to leave, but I think to come back, you won't be able to. Secondly, the West Indies are not playing. I can tell you for a fact, Mia, who's running Barbados, the Prime Minister of Barbados, who is a woman, the girls who run the world are just doing amazing. Right. But she has done a great job with Barbados, but I know is not going to let you go into Barbados without being vaccinated. I can already see that. Wow. And then, because honestly, probably, well, let me tell you, they had completely eliminated it pretty much in Barbados. They got rid of it. It was great. And then I think some English people came in and brought it, and they didn't follow the rules of the quarantine. And then all of a sudden people were dying again. And so then they had to go back on lockdown. They just got out like a couple days ago, I think. So I'm telling everyone, if you really want to go, especially to the islands, you probably going to need to be vaccinated. I'm almost certain. It's going to be like Africa, where you have to have all the shots. And
yeah, when she said that, like your card, because Royale came home with a little card. I was like, are we 5? You got an immunization
Immunization.
card? When, and I get it now because it has his name and it has more lines. So
Yeah.
I just think, we're moving into a world where I hope this is the last, but I don't think it will. And whatever comes up next, there'll be a line for that. And did you get a shot for this? And I'm just like, I don't want that kind of world, but maybe that's where we're headed. I don't know. Well,
I think with science, we might be able to put a kibosh on that and we won't necessarily go that route. But, I'm praying because actually I did hear that the scientists that helped create the vaccine for this are now trying to help to see what they can do with cancers as well. So mRNA, because a lot of people think that they just created this overnight. They did not. mRNA vaccines have, they've been studying these for a while because remember, this is SARS-CoV-2, meaning Correct. This is the second COVID, not the first one. Right. So they've been studying these for a while because there's a lot of misconceptions, especially in the Black community, that this is a thing that they just came up with last year and no, it's not. Right. So this mRNA technology, though, is so great because we can mass produce quickly. Whereas when you had live vaccines, you couldn't do it that fast. So that's why it's so great. And so now they're hoping they can do this mRNA vaccine, and they can see if it will work with other things. A lot of people are like, well, I don't understand why they didn't cure cancer. Cancer is not a virus. One, let's start there. Cancer is there's a whole lot of different cancers. Right. Oh, we're talking about a virus here. So you have to, put things in context. But did Royale have any symptoms after his shot?
He didn't feel good the next day. He wasn't 100%, but this is a guy who doesn't take aspirin. So anything in his body that's foreign, it's going to give him some type of reaction. Okay. It wasn't bad. It was just a little lethargic, like, little energy low, but no fever, nothing out of the ordinary. Okay. So, yesterday was the second day. Fine. Today, amazing. So he's looking forward to his second shot. My appointment is April 23rd. I think I'm getting Pfizer. I don't care which. I just don't want Johnson & Johnson. But to your point, I did listen to this doctor on a podcast, and she broke down, just like you said, what is it? The mRNA?
mRNA. Mm-hmm.
mRNA has been being studied since like 2003. It was like, this is not new. Like you said, it was, I guess, started because of SARS and the COVID #2 or whatever.
No, this is COVID-2. So the first one.
First COVID.
SARS, yeah.
Right. She was saying, and she was trying to explain, because there was no imminent danger to society, the research wasn't at an all-time high, meaning there was no urgency to it. Right. They've been studying it constantly for years until now. We need it. You understand? She was like, so there was no, need to fund it for this mass production because it wasn't needed. But she was like, this has been going on for years, because I was just like most people. Why is this all of a sudden? And she answered all those questions.
Yeah. And then also, this is Black, she was Black too. Okay, so this is the first trial that has had so many Black people too. No other clinical trial has had this many Black participants. So that's how we know it's safe for us, because that was my biggest thing. And I kept telling people, if you have an opportunity to please be a part of the clinical trial, because we need it to be tested on people like us so we know it works for us. Yes. And then I was in a room recently and I had to explain to people in Chicago, in the deep South Side, places that not necessarily some Black people would even go to. Right. There's more white people in line to get the vaccine because the Black people are not getting it. So there's a whole lot over there and they've run out of it in the white neighborhoods. So if that doesn't tell you that we all getting the same thing, I don't know what does. Right. That's true. Because my friend went and got his and he went deep LA. He was like, there was no lines. There was nothing. But where I live, baby, they are scratching and clawing. You can't get in line. You can't. Yeah. So the places, and when I got I could have got an early appointment, but again, right here, my area booked. Hard. The further I go out, Compton, Inglewood, like, girl, appointment, availability. I was like, that's weird. Yeah, then we're not getting it. So I said,
I think it was Tamika, I said, I think they reversed it on us. They know that we're so scared of, getting shots and having been tricked before, that psychologically it's going to, hurt us because we're not going to get vaccinated because of the fear. So,
and I keep telling people to have COVID, especially if you talk to someone who has had it and survived it, is far worse than any side effects from this vaccine.
Mm-hmm. I just, Renee, for me, I just wish it was a one and done.
Me too. Yeah.
I don't understand. And that's the only part that pisses me off, that it has to be a yearly shot.
Well, we don't know for certain yet. But just like the flu shot, you do have to go every year to get a flu shot. So we don't know absolutely for certain yet. There's a lot of unknowns because this is a novel virus. This is new. No one knows. So they have to see. They think that, some of the people that got vaccinated in March of last year might have to have a booster later this year. They just don't know. So we just have to see. And honestly, the needle is small for those that are afraid of needles. It's a small needle. If you don't look at it, I promise you probably won't even feel it.
Right.
I'm serious. It's those who do this that you'll feel that you got stuck. But if you don't pay attention, you wouldn't even know.
Right.
I think eventually, hopefully, if this does become that, hopefully it'll be like the flu shot where it'll be in your doctor's offices rather than, what we have going now.
Driving up.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll be at your PCP, and your PCP will be able to handle it and be like, oh yeah, when you have your appointment, we can just get you your shot.
Just give you your shot. So you're waiting. Your sister's waiting.
Yeah. Well, I'm in line. So I'm in several lines, and when they call my name, I will go. Now I'm taking my dad tomorrow, and look, I've heard people say they took somebody and then they gave them one.
Right.
So
you hoping like, you got another one in there.
Right, exactly. I'm like, I'll just see what they say.
Somebody's not going to show up earlier than you guys. Be like, let me take their shot.
Right. So I'm like, we'll see.
Running into that. A lot of specimens are being expired because people aren't showing up.
Yeah.
And there's no way, there's no text system. I was telling Royale, like, there needs to be a texting, a universal that goes out to everybody. First 10 people, we've got some that are about to expire in this area of LA.
Right. Come now.
Yeah, because I don't think you should be throwing it away. And
not when we have places that are, needing it so badly. Because now outside of our country, it's very hard to get a shot. Like even Estelle was saying, I don't know about the UK, but in Africa, they're having a hard time. And certain places that are, not as wonderfully blessed as the United States are having a really rough time. And so that really, that's not fair. And that's horrible because they need to be taken care of just like we do.
They do.
And then we like to go travel to these places, and then you put them at risk. Yeah. When people travel to these places and they're not vaccinated, and they put them at risk, which is, like I said, what happened in Barbados. It's like, it just was like wildfire, and it blew up again, and the numbers went up. And so they had to pull everything back again. And, Italy, actually, they just went on shutdown. Yeah.
They sure did. And my doctor is certain that we're going to have a huge surge in like June. He says it's just going to fire right back up.
No.
I hope we don't go on lockdown, but I don't want anyone else to die. So whatever we got to do, because to hear, certain family members that were fine that are no longer here is just like devastating. Like, what? This thing has been a lot emotionally, So when we come out of here, a lot of people are going to have a lot of disorders, Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
And I hope that a lot of people, I said it had some good things and bad things. Hopefully you took account of what was important. Right. And you're making sure that you're, living the life you deserve, because you realize that there was a 5-year-old in Detroit that died. I mean, it doesn't matter what age, it doesn't matter what sex, what race. So you need to live your life the way that you'd like to live it, because it is not promised. You just don't know what could happen.
Right.
And love on those that you love, and, keep it moving. And so that's why when the world opens, I have to get back out, and I have to go and see all my people, because
all my people. It's like when the doors open, I'm going to be like, okay, I don't know what to do. Where do I go first? Like, I don't know.
You
I
know,
don't know.
in 2019, I flew 30,000 miles. So in 2020, yes.
Where did you go? Is it for work?
Yeah,
Or
well,
just
my work is wherever my computer is. So I went where I needed to go, and then I might stay there, or I might go someplace else. And,
yeah.
I think we went in 2019. I went to 2 carnivals. We went to Trinidad and Antigua. So I got
Wherever
around.
you want it.
Exactly. That's why I like the life I live, because I just do
And
what
I
I
want
want
to
to
live
do.
the life. I want that life, baby.
Right. That's
Okay?
I'm like,
So,
just we got to keep it moving. So
exactly.
when January 27th is the last time I went somewhere. January 27th, 2020 was when I went to Atlanta for a nonprofit I work with, Save a Girl, Save a World. I do volunteer work with them, and that was my last real trip. And then we were on lockdown.
On lockdown.
So,
Yeah.
and we were supposed to go to Antigua last year. I mean, just all these things. But
Girl, I had like 4 trips.
right.
All canceled. And every one of them I cried like, no, not this one. No. I thought we were going to get Jamaica out because that was in April. And then they went on lockdown. I was like, God dang it. They wouldn't let us in, rather.
Right.
That was it. I thought we could. And it was April 4th. We went on lockdown, March 18th, something like that. So close. I had to finish this job and missed it. But yeah, I just want to go within. I want to go to Atlanta. I want to go to New Jersey. I want to go to New York. I don't even have to leave the country. I just want to get around, even if it's an RV. I do want to get on a plane, but we'll see. I'm going to get it. I'm going to be very nervous. I can tell you that. Not about the shot. I can do needles. I was a phlebotomist. I can take anything. It's just, I'm just praying that, all is well with this vaccine. And, it's not too much. I want to know what the outcome is going to be 5 years from now. I don't want to hear like, oh, wow. Yeah. So some people are going to get this and some people, this could happen. I don't want that.
No,
and I hope it's not that.
No. But thank you so much for being on the show. This was fabulous. It was supposed to be a couples thing when Royale was on last time, you guys, but she got busy. So we had one.
Well, we can do a couple,
Yes, we still can. Yes. You guys have to follow After I Do. I have that link in the box below on YouTube as well. AfterIDo.com. They are hilarious relationships.
How did I forget that? Lord, he gonna kill me. After I Do on Facebook. Please follow us. We have a really nice following. We do a lot of things. We're cooking, we're singing, we're playing with the kids. There's a lot going on there. It's very family oriented and we kind of need that uplifting. So if you want to be uplifted, that is come over to After I Do. And they have a YouTube channel as well. They're a monetized YouTube channel as well. So please subscribe to their channel too. And but thank you so much for chatting with me this afternoon. And everyone, we will see you next week. Next week we have Alicia Butterfield Jones. If you don't know who she is, you have a whole week to figure it out. Okay. But I will. But Felicia actually was very instrumental in the Blackness that was presented to us with the Grammys this week. She is the head of their diversity, inclusion, and equity for the Recording Academy. Nice. So I'm sure you saw Harvey Mason Jr. gave a lovely speech about the Black Collective. That was her. She brought that Black Collective to the Recording Academy. So, and she also helped us to get our very own first ever forever president into office. And she also worked in his administration. So yes, she worked with Obama. So, but yeah, she's amazing. And she's been on the show before. So you can check out that episode and then you can get ready for this one. Next Saturday, 3:00 Eastern Standard Time, 12:00 Pacific. She's over in LA too. In California. 12:00 Pacific, 2:00 Central Standard Time. Thank you, everyone. I will see you next week.